Okay. So the Defenders are slowly going to start making their way back into live action. This comes out
Okay.
of from Marvel Television Head. He was talking about Daredevil Born Again. That's the next thing around the corner. It's like 2 weeks away. So talking about it, we had Nate Moore and we even had some other executives all be like, so Daredevil is the start of the return of the Defenders, but in due time, we're aiming to bring all of them back in live action, and that's what they're going to work on. So,
Are you sure? Because I wonder which Iron Fist they're gonna do because
They will pick up straight from where Netflix left off, but it's not going to be what's his face.
So it's gonna be a
Who's the
different
actor?
Danny.
Well, it'll be Danny, but it won't be.
I have a
What's his
feeling
name?
he's staying. Finn Jones.
That's it, Finn Jones. Yeah, that's what I wanted
I,
to say, but I wasn't sure. Yeah,
I have a
he's
feeling he's staying.
gone.
I'm telling
He's
you.
gone. No, he's gone.
Because I'm just trying to think of the synergy what they have because I think currently right now since with everything going on, Iron Fist isn't Danny. So
Right.
No.
I mean,
If they bring Finn Jones back, he's lasting like 5 episodes. He's dying.
I mean, like the comics, like Ghost Rider, there's multiples, so it's like you just play around with that idea and concept.
I know it's just with the synergy because the current Iron Fist is what's going on right now, and they're trying to get more stuff because with the game, a lot of characters that didn't have comics are starting to get comics now because of that game with all the news breaking out. That's why I'm like wondering if they're going to continue with Danny.
Yeah. I mean, I think you kind of got to have him come back at least to wrap up that story or pass it off. So, it's an interesting angle to take because, like, if you look at the Defenders as a whole, there was a great idea there for the Defender series that ended up falling apart, which I think Marvel Studios could rectify by trying to bring more focus into it, and this time having somebody not embezzle a bunch of money. Because Scott Buck and Jeff Loeb, they spent $18 on Iron Fist season 1, and it shows. It shows. So
a lot of that was Netflix. No, let's be honest.
There was a lot of weird stuff happening with that series. But like, you look at everything that they're doing with Daredevil season 1, or Born Again season 1. I think the evidence is there. We're laying the foundation because a lot of people, again, despite what people say, and I've seen people be like, 100 million people watch Daredevil. No, they didn't. That series tapped out at like 16 million individual accounts watching it. So out of like 290 million Netflix users, it's not there. Loki tied it on the MCU side. So introducing somebody to Iron Fist is going to be like, who is this?
And it's well, it may get a boost with there's an Iron Fist because of the game, because of they're trying to synergize everything.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm wondering, like, if down the road that if they're gonna do the Defenders, they're gonna have other characters like Cloak and Dagger, because from what I've been hearing, people have wanted to get some more stuff on them because at this point in time, Marvel doesn't really have anything on Cloak and Dagger.
No, they don't.
To be fair, when 10 years ago they didn't have anything either.
Yeah, they barely had anything when the TV series kicked off, and it was like
there was 13 issues when that came out.
It's kind of weird when you have something to advertise your IP, and it's when you don't think it's going to take off, and you need stuff, and you don't have anything for them.
It's a tale as old as the industry of comic books and synergy.
It's not necessarily a bad thing though, because it means you're not trying to force it.
That's true too.
You also skip the embarrassment of if it doesn't work out how you want it to work out. You haven't just got like a surplus of stuff that no one's going to give a shit about.
Well, also, like, I look at this whole thing, like, what the core Defenders, right? So you got Daredevil, he's back. Let's be clear about this. Jessica Jones will be second. Luke Cage will be third. Iron Fist will be man, there's probably Misty Knight, Colleen. Iron Fist will be like a ninth ring to return. And that's not
let's
because
just make Iron Fist a series of following Colleen and wondering why Danny's dead. No,
they should honestly do that.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Like,
that sounds good.
Danny in the comics serves a purpose, and there's a whole end of life cycle to Iron Fists, which they should just address straight in the comics. And I get it. Kevin Feige wanted to do Iron Fist phase 1 and phase 2 and got stolen from him. But at this point, can you recover off of 2 bad seasons? Probably not.
Well, if they do it like how they're supposed to, with I think the premise is that Iron Fist is supposed to die, but for some reason Danny wouldn't die until now. Finally, he did. So they could use this as a premise to pass it on to the newest Iron Fist if they want to go forward with that.
And since the newest Iron Fist, he's a creation specifically to appease to Asian audiences, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's fine. He's a great Iron Fist. If you pull that angle with Marvel Rivals and all that hype, I think this would be like, people are now demanding more Luna Snow.
Yeah, which is really funny because like she's been like in only one series, which is a team series, and outside of that, she's a game exclusive character.
She like Agents of Atlas or something like that?
Yeah,
it was it was forever ago.
Yeah, Agents of Atlas was their I guess they're specifically Asian.
It's all Southeast Asians, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think like Kamala, like she was a auxiliary teammate as well because she was in a couple issues as well. But yeah, they could do that. I mean, I could see that because from that market, originally like the character, I'm blanking on his name, but he was called Swordmaster, and that didn't do so well. So so they moved him over to being the new Iron Fist, and he took off, especially with the game because you actually get to see his personality more when he interacts with all the characters. Also, so I would like that.
It's also a good comic book run. I picked it up as an Iron Fist fan. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Like, so I think there's rehabilitation to happen to all the Defenders. Punisher is also going to need a giant revamp because his 2 seasons are boring. I mean, it's the best Punisher we've gotten, but they missed the mark on it by, again, cheaping out and making Jigsaw's scars eternal demons or whatever the hell they talked about. I remember looking over at my wife when they dropped that line, and it was the most disappointing groan I've ever heard from somebody watching something Marvel. I was like, oh, you felt that. Imagine me right here. It's like, it's
it's like you have a ton of like mob bosses and stuff in the MCU or comics as a whole to pick from, and you do that to that character.
Yep, because you didn't want to do $10 worth of prosthetics that cosplayers can do better. It's kind of amazing, but that was it. So, we're probably going to get hints of who's coming. There's going to be references. I mean, there's already references on like the trailer for Daredevil Born Again of Luke Cage. They're talking about what's going on in Harlem. So they'll drop some hints, I'm assuming. Season 2 seems like that's when it's actually going to happen. Like they're going to come back in live action. So stay tuned. We'll talk about it. So we'll see what happens with Daredevil Born Again. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.